If you're holding 3,892 SUI right now, you're probably asking yourself just how much those tokens could be worth by 2026. With the crypto market heating up again and altcoins starting to gain traction, the question of whether SUI can break out into the big leagues is becoming more and more relevant. So in today's video, we're going to take a deep dive into the numbers, the market cap potential, the latest developments in the SUI ecosystem, and what your bag could realistically be worth by 2026. But before we continue with the video, I just want to say, if you're looking for a solid exchange to trade crypto, I personally use WEEX. It's reliable, has deep liquidity, super low fees, and a massive selection of coins. Right now, you can claim up to $30,000 in sign-up bonuses and trade with up to 400x leverage. Best part, no KYC required. Use the link in the description to sign up and claim your bonus today. All right, let's get into it. At the time of recording, SUI is priced at around $3.36, with a total market cap sitting just under $12 billion. There are about 3.57 billion tokens in circulation, and your 3,892 SUI are worth roughly $13,078. That's already a significant holding. But the real question is, where can this project go in the next year? And how high could your stack climb if the market turns bullish again? To answer that, we need to look at both the fundamentals of SUI as a project and the broader market conditions. SUI is one of the newer smart contract platforms that has been gaining recognition for its high throughput and innovative technology. The network is built on Move, a programming language originally developed at Meta, and it's specifically designed for security and efficiency. One of the standout features of SUI is its parallel transaction execution model. Instead of processing transactions one after another like most blockchains, SUI can handle multiple transactions simultaneously, which gives it an edge in terms of scalability and speed. This makes it particularly attractive for gaming, NFTs, and decentralized finance applications, areas where user experience and transaction speed matter. Over the past year, we've seen increasing adoption of the SUI ecosystem, with more developers deploying dApps and more activity coming onto the chain. From NFT projects to DeFi protocols, the momentum has been building steadily. And as adoption grows, so does the long-term demand for the token. However, price action isn't just about adoption. Token unlock schedules, market sentiment, and overall liquidity all play a huge role. In fact, there's an important unlock scheduled for the 1st of October 2025, when around 44 million SUI tokens will enter circulation. That's about 1.23% of the supply, which could temporarily add selling pressure if not absorbed by new buyers. But looking beyond the short term, the real potential of SUI lies in its ability to position itself as one of the top smart contract platforms alongside the likes of Solana, Cardano, and others in that category. If the network continues to build its ecosystem and attract developers, then the long-term price action could be very favorable. Right now, the bullish technical momentum is already being noticed by traders. Analysts are pointing out that SUI has broken out of key chart patterns, with targets around $3.50 in the near term. That might not sound like a huge jump, but it's a sign of strength considering the broader market volatility. Now let's run some scenarios for what your 3,892 SUI could be worth by 2026. In a conservative scenario, let's assume SUI doesn't do much and only grows modestly to around $5 per token. That would bring your holdings to about $19,460. Not exactly life-changing, but still a healthy gain compared to where we're at today. In a more moderate scenario, let's say SUI doubles from here and reaches around $7. That would bring your 3,892 tokens to a value of roughly $27,244. At that point, you've more than doubled the value of your current holdings in just over a year, which is quite significant. And in a bullish scenario, let's imagine SUI rallies to $10 by 2026. That would push the value of your bag up to $38,920. At that level, SUI would have a market cap of about $35 billion, which is ambitious but still within reason if the next bull cycle lifts the entire market and SUI captures a bigger share of the smart contract space. Of course, there are even more extreme possibilities. If we look at where some of the top platforms are valued today, it's not hard to imagine SUI reaching higher valuations if it successfully becomes one of the top 3 or 4 chains by activity. But it's important to stay realistic. For SUI to reach $20 per token, the market cap would need to be over $70 billion. That's not impossible, but it would require massive adoption and a very strong bull market environment. One of the key things to watch for SUI going forward is ecosystem development. Already, we're seeing more DeFi protocols launch on the network, more NFT marketplaces experimenting with its low fees, and more developers attracted to the Move language. Partnerships, new dApps, and integrations with major crypto infrastructure will all play a role in determining whether the demand for SUI can keep up with the increasing supply. Another factor is community growth. Unlike some blockchains that remain heavily developer-focused, SUI has been making an effort to build a broader community presence with ambassadors, marketing campaigns, and incentives for users to explore the ecosystem. The bigger and more active the community, the more resilient the token tends to be during market downturns, which could help stabilize price action by 2026. From a technical analysis perspective, traders are keeping a close eye on resistance levels around $3.50. If SUI breaks and holds above that range, it could open the door to higher targets in the short to medium term. At the same time, support levels around $3 will be critical to maintain. If the market loses confidence and SUI falls below that, we could see a retest of lower levels before any further recovery. But when you zoom out, what really matters is the project's long-term position in the blockchain space. SUI has carved out a narrative of being a high-performance chain that's specifically built for the kind of applications where speed and scalability matter most. That's why many analysts believe it has strong potential over the next cycle. And if the overall market sentiment turns bullish as expected in the lead-up to 2026, SUI could be one of the projects that benefits the most. Let's also not forget the psychological factor of round numbers. If SUI hits $5, that's already a mental milestone for many investors. $7 and $10 are the next checkpoints, and once those levels are reached, FOMO often kicks in, and retail investors tend to pile on. That's how major rallies often accelerate far beyond what most analysts predict. So, to sum it all up, your 3,892 SUI are currently worth about $13,000. If the token reaches $5, that bag grows to almost $20,000. If it reaches $7, you're sitting on $27,000. And if SUI really breaks out to $10, your stack would be worth nearly $39,000. Anything beyond that would mean SUI has become a major player in the crypto space, potentially rivaling some of the top altcoins on the market today. Of course, none of this is financial advice, and the crypto market remains one of the most volatile asset classes in the world. Prices can move up or down quickly based on news, regulations, or market sentiment. So always make sure to do your own research and never invest more than you can afford to lose. But for now, the numbers don't lie. Even in a conservative case, your 3,892 SUI tokens have the potential to be worth significantly more by 2026. The big question is whether SUI can keep up its momentum, deliver on its technical promises, and capture a large enough share of the market to justify a higher valuation. If it does, then your bag could turn into a very solid return within the next year.